Yo, what's up, everybody? It's J5. On today's video, we will be going our NFL Week 5 reactions. If you haven't seen it already, I just dropped my college football Week 6 reactions. That video probably dropped like 3 hours ago. So either go watch that one right now or after this one, go check that video out. So like I said, in this video, we have our Week 5 reactions. Then we're going to go into our top 10 power rankings. And then we're going to finish the video off with our Thursday night predictions between the Seattle Seahawks and 49ers. Excuse me. So let's go game by game from week 5, and let's dive right into it. Bucks versus Falcons. That was the Thursday night matchup. I said that game was gonna be high scoring. My prediction was wrong. I said the Buccaneers were gonna win that game, but I was right when I said it was gonna be high scoring. Kirk Cousins, 500 passing yards. That is absolutely insane. 500 passing yards is crazy. But like I said, the Falcons end up getting the win. My reaction from this game is I believe that the Falcons need to continue with the aggressive pass play calling. I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is about to throw for 500 yards every game, but you paid Kirk a lot of money to come to Atlanta. And with the weapons that he has, like I said, Kyle Pitts, he had a pretty good game. I just said in my last NFL video that they need to find a way to get Pitts involved, and he just had I want to say like 60 yards or so, if not more. But Darnell Mooney, he had 3 touchdowns. Drake London had a touchdown. Bijan was effective on the ground. I believe he had a little over 60 yards. He did some things through the air. But if the Falcons are just aggressive through the air, and then they're able to add a balanced run game. Their run game wasn't that great, but like I said, Bijan, he was the reason why he got the yards that he did. A lot of broken tackles. I don't know. But if they're able to get a balanced run game, this Falcons offense is the sky's the limit for them. And the winner of this matchup, which was the Falcons, that may be the reason why if the Falcons are the division winner, it's probably gonna come back to this game. If the Bucks end up coming in second place, it's gonna come back to this game. But down the road, they end up meeting again. But this game, pretty high stakes. Moving on, 8:30 game in London, Jets versus Vikings. 5-0 for the Vikings. In my opinion, it's not crazy to say at all, but the Vikings, they could very, very well make a Super Bowl run. With the defense that they have, when you have an elite defense and an offense that's producing points, why can't you go to the Super Bowl? That season that they went 13-4, they had an offense, they had no defense. This season they have a top 3 defense. Right now they're ranked number 1. So they have a defense this year and they still have a top 15 offense. Sam Darnold, he didn't have the best game through the air. I believe he only had like 170 yards or so. But he did what he had to do in order to help the team win. In that last drive after the Jets went down and got a touchdown with like 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Sam Darnold put together a drive where the Vikings were in position to get 3 points. And really that was the reason why the Vikings won, because the Jets had to play aggressive when they got close to the red zone, and then they ended up losing the game off of Aaron Rodgers' interception. And like I said, Brian Flores' scheme, it's crazy. He just picked off a Hall of Famer 3 times in one game. So credit to Brian Flores a lot. And then Kevin O'Connell, he's doing a great job coaching this team. And then shockingly, the Jets, they just fired Robert Saleh 2 days ago on Tuesday. And like I said, shocking. Even the Jets defensive players said that they were very shocked by this firing. I mean, it caught me off guard as well. So I mean, we'll see what the Jets look like looking forward. But I mean, through this through 5 weeks of the season, I mean, they have the same total of points that they had last season when Zach Wilson was quarterback. So I mean, something has to change with this Jets offense. I do like how they got Garrett Wilson involved. I mean, he had 20 targets, I believe, and I mean, hey, they threw the ball 52 times, but I mean, there needs to be some type of balance in the run game. Like I slept through pretty much all the game. I mean, when Garrett Wilson got that touchdown in the fourth quarter, I woke up probably like 2 minutes before that. But yeah, something has to change with that Jets offense. Um, they need to find a balance. Panthers versus Bears. I mean, Caleb continues to progress. Offense is coming along, but I mean, at the same time, it's the Carolina Panthers. I mean, who doesn't look good against the Panthers? But I'm not gonna discredit Caleb's performance that much. Like I said, he continues to progress. Um, and I mean, if this offense continues to progress, look out now. We all know that the Bears have a top 5 defense. They just need the offense to go along with it. So if they can continue to get better, which I hate to say, but I mean, hey, the Bears may find themselves in an NFC Championship game. Ravens versus Bengals, game of the year so far, no question. I mean, Joe Burrow had 5 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, insane plays. Very unfortunate loss for the Bengals. They needed that win big time. And it would have been an in division win. That would have been very, very huge for them. But like I said, very unfortunate. But comeback kid Lamar. He has no quit in him. Even when they were down 10 points in the fourth quarter, he continued to make plays. I kind of turned away from that game because I thought that the Bengals were going to be able to close the game out. But, I mean, it went into overtime. Unfortunate that the holder, he couldn't handle it. And then McPherson ended up missing a kick. And then the very next play, Derrick Henry run for 50 yards. And then Justin Tucker kicks the game-winning field goal. Moving on, Dolphins versus Patriots. I didn't pay attention to that game at all, I'm not going to lie. But, I mean, a little life for Miami. They got an in-division win. They have a bye week. And then, Tua should be back. Hopefully, if not, I know he can't come back next game, but hopefully the game after that. So, I mean, there's a little life for Miami. And then the teams that are in the division, the Bills 3-2, the Jets 2-3. I mean, both those teams, they don't look that good right now. So the division is honestly still in play for the Dolphins. But that we'll just have to see how things go, how things look when Tua comes back. But moving on, Browns versus Commanders. Jaden Daniels continues to shine. He had a little rough start, but I mean, as a rookie, that's kind of expected when you're playing a top 5 defense. But after you settled in, it was up from there. They continued to score. And that J5, well, yeah, his nickname is J5. But Daniels and Terry, their connection is brewing. So if they can continue to put together these games, we're looking at a pretty dynamic quarterback wide receiver duo, and that's all that Terry needed. Honestly, I mean, he's been putting up numbers, and he's had a different quarterback pretty much every single year. And I mean, the Commanders, they found their franchise guy. Terry found his quarterback. He had 100 yards this past weekend against a very, very good Browns secondary. On the Browns side, I mean, Deshaun Watson, man. Like I said, it's not entirely his fault. He had a lot of drops. His O-line, it just looks like no one wants to play for that franchise. the Browns fans, they kind of had a stretch where they probably thought that they were back. They were in the playoffs. They had a great roster, but now it just looks like no one even wants to play for that team, and it's just very sad to see. Honestly, um, especially when it's 5 weeks into the season. They have another hard test this week against the Eagles. Eagles coming off a bye week. It just doesn't really look good for the Browns going forward. Colts versus Jaguars. I knew this curse was real. We haven't beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville in like 11 years. So going into this game, I'm not gonna lie, I expected us to lose. But when we went down there, scored first drive, Pittman caught the touchdown. I was like, "Whoa, are we about to break the curse right now?" But then it just goes to show that our defense. I just said not in my last video that the secondary wasn't the biggest problem, and the only reason that why Justin Fields and Caleb threw for 300 yards was because that they were down in the game and they had to pass. But Trevor Lawrence, he just looked like the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, as he is. But he hasn't looked like that the first 4 weeks. But here come the Colts to town. Let's just turn up one time, and let's just go out there and put up. I think it was 34 points or 37 points. But he threw for 350 plus yards. Brian Thomas had an 85-yard touchdown. This defense, Gus Bradley needs to go. I would love, like I said, Salah, he just got fired. I would love for us to bring him in. He'll change our defense instantly, but I don't expect that to happen at all. And I don't know if Salah would want to go back to a coordinator position. But maybe that's what he needs. Not everyone's built for a head coach position. But yeah, man, we're cursed. We're cursed. We're cursed week 1, and we're cursed in Jacksonville. Anthony Richardson, he did practice today. So signs are looking like he'll play this Sunday against the Titans. JT didn't practice, but that's a week 6 matchup, so I'm not gonna speak on that. Moving on, Bills versus Texans. I might have been bamboozled by the Bills. Like I said in my previous video, they were unexpectedly dominant. I thought that matchup against the Ravens was kind of a fluke. But they only lost by 3 points, but that just it doesn't really affect the way that Buffalo looked. Josh Allen, he only completed 9 passes. His receivers, Kincaid, couldn't get any separation. It just didn't look good at all for the Bills. Like I said, Josh Allen, he needs to put on his cape every single game if the Bills want to win. Excuse me. They played the Jets on Monday night, so another hard test. Another hard test for them when it comes to offense versus defense. But something they need to be able to find a way to get these receivers open. Because defenses, they could just go man coverage against them, send 4 every single play, and Bills O-line, they haven't looked great. Josh Allen's, he's scrambling a lot, and if defenses are able to hold Josh Allen from making plays outside of the pocket, the Bills are very, very beatable every single game. Terrible clock management as well. I'm sure if you guys watch the game, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you're at your own 5-yard line, a minute left in the game, no timeouts, how realistic is it that you're going to get into field goal range? The Texans having all 3 timeouts, and they didn't have to use not one because the Bills threw the ball 3 straight times, and they were all incomplete, which was expected because, like I said, no one could get separation. And then they had to punt the ball away. Then 1 play later, C.J. Stroud gets a 5-yard gain, timeout, boom, game-winning field goal, game is over. Stroud, his game, it wasn't the prettiest, but I mean, he made the plays when he had to. He did have 2 turnovers in that game, but when it mattered most, he was there. And they ended up getting the win. Moving on to afternoon games, Raiders versus Broncos. Raiders are cooked. Devontae Adams will be gone. Honestly, I mean, right now I'm recording this on Wednesday, October 9th, so I expected Tay Adams to be gone already. Maybe by the time that this video drops, he'll be traded. But I mean, like I said, the Raiders are cooked. Tay will be gone. There's really not much to say there. Brock Bowers, he is shining though, but I mean, his career may get wasted, sadly. I'm still not buying into this Broncos 3-game win streak. And I'm not gonna buy into it at all this whole season. I mean, they can get to the playoffs for all I care. They will be gone round 1. Simple as that. I'm not buying into this 3-game win streak. Packers versus Rams. I mean, Stafford, he's doing what he can with the pieces that he has around him. But I mean, on the Packers side, the Packers defense, they're becoming top 5. They lead the league in takeaways, and I mean, Xavier McKinney, what a signing he was. I believe he had 2 interceptions that game, or I know he had 1 for sure. He might have been close to getting a second one, but I mean, if the Packers offense is putting teams in a position where they have to pass to come back, I mean, good luck against the secondary. Packers, they're still battling for the North, but between the line, honestly, that whole division, the NFC North might be the best division right now. But I mean, like I said, Stafford, he's doing what he can. I'm not sure if Kupp and Puka even want to come back this season. I mean, I'm sure they probably will, but at the end of the day, it's like, for what? Moving on, Giants versus Seahawks. Daniel Jones, he continues to impress, man. Even when Neighbors wasn't playing this weekend, I mean, Darius Slayton, he just had 100 yards. So, I mean, you have to give credit to Daniel Jones. Seahawks, their defense needs to come together. The second, like, you can't give up 100 yards to Darius Slayton, and that's not discarding Darius Slayton, because I know, you know, he had a stretch where he was receiver 1, but that was like literally 3 years ago. But I mean, they need to get it together, or they will get destroyed Thursday against the 49ers. And Mike McDaniel, their head coach, I mean, he's a defensive-minded head coach, so you really don't expect the Seahawks defense to look like this. So if the Seahawks want to be something this year, I mean, their defense needs to come together, and they need to have consistent passing games out of Geno Smith. Sunday night game, wow, that was a thriller. I mean, it was like an hour 30 weather delay. I was up until freaking 12 o'clock. Not that that's late, but I mean, late for, you know, adults wanting to stay up to watch that game. But I mean, the Cowboys, they buffed up when they had to. No Micah, no D-Law. I mean, they still got the job done. Arthur Smith, it's like, why is he even a coach? I know he's not a head coach, but I mean, he's still offensive coordinator. But it's like, why? Why does he have a job? Najee Harris can't get anything going on the run game. In my opinion, they need to unleash Justin Fields. Don't lean on Najee. Don't try to, you know, get the ground game going. And I know it's hard because the Steelers, they really don't have a receiver outside of Pickens. And honestly, Pickens, he didn't even look good this Sunday night. I know he played a career low in snaps, but when he was out there, it looked like he didn't even want to be out there. So, like I said, before, I wasn't buying into that Steelers 3-0 start. It was very fluky to me, and I mean things may turn around very very quickly for this Steelers team. Um, and then Monday night, Chiefs versus Saints. I'm getting very very tired of the Chiefs, and it's not because they're winning, but it's just how they're winning. Like the Chiefs, they don't look good at all to me. Like they look very beatable. They're lucky that the Saints are trash, but I mean the Chiefs, they don't look anything special to me. Um, if I could, I would wish that they would, you know, not make the playoffs this year, but they're freaking 5-0 right now, so they're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot. So yeah, I'm ready to see the Chiefs downfall. Um, I like Mahomes. I like I like a few guys off that team, but I'm ready to see the Chiefs downfall. And I know in my season preview, I said that they're going to the Super Bowl. We're gonna get a Super Bowl rematch between the Eagles and Chiefs. But I mean, even if I were to be right, I'll be very very pissed off about it. Unless this Chiefs offense becomes very very exciting. Um, cause like right now, I just like it makes me mad watching them. Like nothing that they do really impresses me or anything. They're just not exciting to watch for me right now. Um, the Saints, like I said, they were a two week fluke. Carr just went down with an injury. So I mean, maybe we'll see Rattler. You know, he shined in the preseason. Maybe he gets some regular season snaps. Um, you know, the downhill slope for the Saints has begun, as it began in week 3. Honestly. So let's move on. Those were my week 5 reactions. Let's move on to my power rankings. Like I said, top 10 after week 5. Number 1, still my number 1 team. I have the Vikings. Number 2, I have the Ravens. Number 3, I have the Texans. Number 4, I have the Lions. Number 5, I have the Washington Commanders. Big jump for them, as I was like shaky to put them in my top 10. You know, they were in my 10th spot last week, but this week they move up 5 spots, and they're now the uh fifth uh fifth team in my power ranking. Chiefs are 6. Number 7, I have the Cowboys. Number 8, I have the 49ers. Number 9, I have the Eagles. And number 10, making their first ever power ranking debut by J5. I have the Chicago Bears, man. I have the Chicago Bears is my 10th team. Like I said, we all know that they have a top 5 defense, and if this offense continues to excel, they look like a top 10 team right now. I'm not gonna lie. Thursday night, let's get into my predictions. I have 3 predictions. Well, I have 3 keys, I would say, and then I have my prediction. My first key, Deebo Samuel. This past week he had 11 freaking yards. And history would tell you that he kills the Seahawks. He averages a little over 100 yards against them, and I'm expecting a big game from Deebo, because I mean it was basically like he took the week off last week against the Cardinals. He didn't do much other than motion in the backfield and block. I mean, he had 2 carries and then 1 catch. So I'm expecting a big game from Deebo. Number 2, the Seahawks have to match the 49ers intensity. And I mean, luckily the Seahawks are at home in this matchup, but we all know that how intense the 49ers defense is, and especially with them coming off a loss, in division loss, I expect the 49ers to be highly motivated. And if the Seahawks don't match their intensity, this thing could get real ugly real early for the Seahawks. And that leads me right into key number 3. The Seahawks need a fast start. If Geno's not able to get into a rhythm early, and they get behind, The 49ers know that they're going to be passing, and you got guys like Bosa who know that they're passing and they're able to commit on a pass rush move. Things are going to get out of hand for Seattle. So they need a fast start. They need to keep the crowd into it. We all know that Seattle's the home of the 12th man. So if the crowd's in it, if they're scoring points, if they're just giving themselves a shot to win this game, I do believe that they come out on top. So that leads me right into my prediction. Seahawks will win 27-24. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Guys, let me know your comments. Let me know your predictions down in the comments for this Thursday night matchup. Share this video to anyone who may be interested. Turn on post bell notifications so you guys don't miss any of my uploads. Like I said, subscribe, share it to anyone who may be interested. That's going to do it. J5 out.